Hello everyone. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. As you probably know, I'm a writer, so I'm going to talk about that and how I became a writer, what I do to keep myself motivated, which at the moment is pretty difficult because we're in lockdown, and I'm sure many of you are finding the same thing, and probably your mums and dads are crawling up the wall sometimes actually. Because they haven't been able to go out and walk or see many friends. When and how did I know that I wanted to be a writer? Well, I've always loved reading, and I read widely when I was young, all kinds of different books, and I really enjoyed having adventures within those pages. And at some point, it was actually when I read The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, which I think many of you might be familiar with. That was when I realised there was a different kind of book you could write. You didn't just have to write about the everyday and the adventures that you knew about and the places you went. You could actually make up entire different worlds inhabited by creatures that you had thought up and imagined, came out of your own imagination. And that for me was a turning point. So I don't know if anybody who's watching this today might have read a book that had that effect on them. But I hope so. It was quite a magical moment for me. What did I have to do in the terms of getting to where I am today? And as an established and successful writer now, you might know I've sold millions of books worldwide. My books have been translated into different languages. I write for both children and for adults. In fact, I began writing for adults. So yes, it's been quite a journey. And I would say the one thing which I think has probably been most important, and it sounds very easy, is working hard. When I began, I knew it wasn't going to be easy. There were going to be lots of times when the work that I perhaps sent in to my publisher, for those who don't know, a publisher is a person who gets the books ready, you write it, and then they make it into the book, and then it goes onto the bookshelves and so on, into the shops, and these days into ebooks as well. And when I knew I was having a small amount of success, I knew I had to keep going, not to just sit back and expect what I'd done before to speak for me. I had to keep on working hard. So there's no secret. Most things in life that we want and which we have to teach ourselves, like for example playing a musical instrument or something, you wouldn't expect to do it overnight. So I had to teach myself to write and spend a long time doing that. How did I feel when things went wrong? Well, I was disappointed, like anyone would be. You work hard and you think you've got something right, and then maybe somebody criticises you, or you don't feel happy perhaps with your own work, even though you sent it in. And then, of course, being a writer, when my work is out there and people are reading it, they will tell me what they think about my books. Now, on the whole, I've had good comments, but I have had a couple, perhaps more than a couple, where they've really knocked me back for a while. And one in particular was when I lost a big like an order, if you like, to write some books. A publisher had asked me to write some books. It's called a commission. And then after a short time, that didn't happen for various reasons. It's too long to go into. But that was a big blow. That was, to me, that set me back a long time. And actually looking back now, I think it probably taught me a lot. It taught me to be resilient and resourceful and to overcome disappointment and to realise I'm not always going to get things right, and that's just life. You have to take the rough with the smooth, and it was probably a very good lesson for me. Now, what effect has the skill of writing, my learned skill, had on my well-being? That's a really interesting question, because I can almost turn it around and say, what has or what does my sense of well-being have on my ability to write? Because that is how I think of things, and especially through lockdown when we've all had challenges You know, we haven't been able to do the normal things we do. All the things that I perhaps would do to stimulate my imagination have been curtailed. I go for long walks, I can still do that. But it has definitely had an effect, and I have found it difficult sometimes to concentrate, to motivate myself. I perhaps sit at my desk. This is the room I work in. You can see all my shelves of books behind me. And I come in here and I like this room very much. And I sit down and I think, oh, I haven't got the energy. I don't know what to write. And it's not a very nice feeling. And I just have to think back to what I said a bit earlier about when things go wrong. I know they'll be okay again because I've learned that. So I have to remember that it's all right for me not to feel okay. And I just have to go with that. And I do whatever I need to make myself feel okay. So I might read, I might go for a walk, or make myself some nice food. And I know that that black cloud hanging over my head will clear. So it's just, I think it's a lesson in life. It's not just in what you do in life, it's what you are as a person. And you know that sometimes things will go wrong. And it's okay. And in conclusion, what I would say to anybody that is starting out, wants to learn a skill, you go for it. There's nothing to be lost and everything to be gained. And I wish you all the best.